that pressure, and it makes him a scary player as well when you do have to scout for these things, and it's not guaranteed that he's just going to be going for that 3 CC macro game every time.
Yep. Well, let's get these introductions done and dusted. In the bottom right from Team Root, once again, it's Iaguz. In the top left from Team Property, I think it's Zanster. I think you're right about the 11-11 thing. I'm not sure he wants to do it here. He didn't do it against Cats for the first time in like 3 weekends that I've seen him play this map against Zerg. So maybe it's finally worn off because he got owned against Snoot and Ender doing this build.
Or it might have just been a gentleman's game because he didn't want to incite the rage of his fearless leader.
Maybe. And then his fearless leader comes and roach banes him, so I don't know how that works.
Oh, that was dirty. That was so gross. Can't believe the Iaguz actually won that game one. That was really impressive play from behind.
Yeah.
Super, super impressive.
I'm pretty sure I was done with Starcraft after that. I'm like, I don't understand how this works.
It's going to be a CC first, Seth. So the opposite of an 11-11, he did not send the SCVs out to make those barracks. He's going to do the complete opposite build. He's going for a command center first. Then he's going to want to take up, get those Hellions out and go for a third CC as well. This is another build that Iaguz is really confident in. And if you are ahead one game in a series and you've just destroyed a Zerg that hard with macro, it makes sense to do something like this in game 2, because there's almost no way with the whole tournament on the line for Zanster that he's going to go for something like a 6-ball.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, I guess he won the last game quite convincingly just playing straight up, so there's not really any need to do anything different here. And his Biomine push is really good. Like, it's what he does pretty much every TVZ, unless he's particularly feeling like switching it up. So he's well practiced at it, and you may as well stick to what you're good at. And the parade push has certainly worked on this map previously, so we'll have to see how it goes. Pretty normal opening from Zanster as well. Again, gas before pull, so like you mentioned last game, there is a possibility for a bit of aggression, especially if he feels like he might be on the back foot in this matchup against Iaguz. But yeah, we'll just keep tabs on that gas. It'd probably just be for speed, I would assume, but you never know.
You never know. He's scouted the CC first with his Overlord, so he does have the options. Does he go for a speedling attack? Does he go for roaches? Or, does he just go for speedling to defend and then power drones and get a really fast third? That's really the options. It is going to be a roach warren, so it's going to be a 12 roach rush, and this is incredibly hard to hold, even if you perfectly scout this. But Iaguz isn't going to scout it. He just saw that there is a hatchery. He's going home.
Wow.
He does not know anything that's coming. I think the 12 roach rush could work and pay dividends. It could even just flat out kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. If he has no idea it's coming, he has no reason to have defense for it. And when you've gone for your fast expand, like this is getting the factory now, so ideally, maybe he wants a siege tank. What else are you supposed to do? Do you just bunker up on your main ramp and hope for the best?
Well, it involves a little bit of bunkers, it involves some scouting, and it involves a healthy dose of prayer as well. If you have all 3 of those things line up and the stars align, and the Zerg makes a mistake, then you might be in a really good position to hold, but that's about it.
Oh, gosh. Well, dire straits for Iaguz already, and he doesn't know it. Zanster's going to be pretty pleased to see 1 incomplete bunker and 1 or 2.
Zanster actually didn't do this build to the 12 roach rush extent. He's doing a little bit of a faster variation where he adds some slow lings as well. So I think Iaguz may be even better poised to hold this version, but it's gonna be tough. Like, he's only gonna have 2 Hellions. He needs a perfect surround. He really needs to have a full wall off, but he's actually added a second refinery very quickly. So he doesn't have the minerals that he would need to make that full wall off until just now. But the roaches are going to come in. They're going to kill those depots that are building. I don't think that Iaguz is going to be able to hold this.
No, probably not. He's just... Why doesn't he ever do Reapers anymore? I feel like it would help him out a lot against these kind of things. He comes in for the repair. It is a little bit late. But can he buy himself some time here? Ling's following up behind this. This is a very well-chosen build from Zanster. He knows he's got his number here.
Look how many hit points these roaches have. Not a single roach has gone down yet. One's in the red, one's in the orange. Iaguz is dead. I mean, It's GG. What can he really do from here?
Oh, he's roasting the lings. He's doing some damage to the roaches, loosening them up a little bit. One marauder comes out, but one marauder against this many roaches. I don't know, man. It's looking pretty dire. He's going to bring in the SCVs. Let's see if he can clean it up in the end. He's going to take such huge losses for it, though.
Iaguz isn't mining at all behind this. The SCVs, most of them will go down. So even if he does eventually clean up the roaches, because Zanster hasn't built another round of them or any like speedlings or anything like that, Zanster has actually made a lot of drones back home. So he's on 36 against 17.
Yeah.
And I think that he's probably more confident playing a macro game than someone like Katz is. So I feel as though he's much less likely to throw away the advantage that he has right now. No offense to Katz. It's just how I see the game.
That's, well, his playstyle's a little bit wacky, and he tends to go for shorter games. I don't think he really tends to go for those big long macro games, so it's a fair enough comment. Zanster getting a couple of drones roasted in here, maybe. Oh man, these Hellions going down, and that's kind of the end of his, I don't even want to call it map control. He doesn't really have any, but
he really wanted to be able to do some nice barbecues on the drones or get something done there just to try and gain a lead or not even gain a lead, just get back into the game. And we saw him do that quite effectively against Cats in a previous series. He got a lot of drones, and that was something that allowed him to scrape it back and bring back the series. But here, he's got a Viking out, so he's going to be able to kill a couple of Overlords and get a bit of mineral damage done. But at the same time, Zanster's now going up to a lair. He's got a third that's almost done. He's going to basically be able to fully saturate that immediately, go up to about 60, 65 drones, even look to take a fourth. One thing I really do want Zanster to be more on top of, though, is his creep spread, because that's really going to help him when Iaguz eventually does push out.
yeah, he started off quite nicely in the last game with his creep spread, but as soon as Iaguz denied a bit of it, he didn't bother to replace it or anything. So hopefully this game it'll go a bit better, because Iaguz isn't out on the map at all, and it won't be for a little while here. This Viking, again, getting 4 kills already in this game. I'm sure there's another couple that he can pick off here and there. In the meantime, a few lings from Zanster coming across the map just to see what's about. You might take a bit of mine hit.
One day, Zeph, Zergs are going to realize that if there is a Viking on the map, it is actually worth it just to sacrifice the 100 minerals and 100 gas to get Overlord speed.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, it just completely shuts down the Viking harass and they don't get anything done. So that those 4 Overlords, they wouldn't have died, he would have only lost 1.
I don't know why people don't do. I guess they don't want to spend the gas or something. Like minerals isn't really a problem, but it used to be like the one thing that every Zerg did. They were like, yes, this is a priority, and now they're just kind of like, oh no, I don't need it. I'll just lose 5 Overlords, no biggie. Well, we got the Spire coming close to finishing for Zanster.
And the 4th.
Oh yeah, and the 4th too, on the left-hand side of the map there.
Really nice. As long as he gets his creep spread on both sides and he's really proactive about it, Iaguz is going to be really hard-pressed to push the 3rd. It's almost impenetrable except for drops. But you put a couple of spores and a couple of spines there, speedlings, maybe a bane, that's defended. The only issue is going to be that Iaguz, when he parade pushes out to the 4th, that can be difficult to hold. So the importance of creep spread and having units to defend those timings, that's what's going to come into play here for Zanster. If he can be on top of that, he wins this game.
Yeah, certainly, and he's already got quite a decent lead. Armory now coming up for Iaguz as his 1-1 nears completion. Viking finally goes down after getting, I think, 5 kills it was, so it certainly earned its paycheck there. And Creeps for Zanster, yeah, it's starting to get there. He could probably push it out a little bit more aggressively, but in the meantime, Iaguz has set up his own 3rd base.
Yeah, he's not doing a bad job. Not a bad job at all with those creep shimmers.
See if these mutas can get some harass done in the Terran main. There's actually only turrets in the mineral lines, so there's plenty of naked add-ons he could try and poke at.
Just be annoying. Keep Iaguz in his base for longer. The longer you can keep Iaguz down around his production, the more drones you can make. He's already up to 75. You look at the upgrades, I think this is actually something that's a stylistic choice of Zanster. He has gone for mutas to do the harass. Killing that refinery is pretty big. That's actually going to make it so Iaguz won't have enough gas to do both his 2-2 and keep making medivacs and get things like the mine upgrade. So that was actually quite a big blow. And it's only a refinery, but it makes a huge difference to your build. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, that's quite a while not mining gas. So it's certainly going to make a difference. There's the combat shields getting close to finishing up, and he has warded off the mutas for the moment. A Thor coming in to help out with that, and a couple more mines joining this force. It looks like Iaguz may be finally ready to start venturing out on the map a little bit here.
Iaguz hates making Thors as well. Talking with him, he really doesn't like making them. He just wants to make bio and mines and medivacs and just go. So the Thor here is really just because he has seen such fast meters. So I think it is a fairly good choice, except that Thor has made it so that Iaguz couldn't afford his 2-2. So I think that he might even be going all in here. He might be looking to end the game quickly. He's not getting extra upgrades. He's going to add the extra production and just go for it, I feel.
Yep, certainly looks like it. He's already got a nice pre-spread as per usual as he tries to put the pressure on at this fourth base. He's right out on creep though, so these Zerg units are going to have an easy time surrounding these small clusters. Tons of banelings coming in.
Well.
Oh my goodness. Destroyed. That army really didn't stand much of a chance at all. Oh, okay.
With the mines, that looks so sick. And the Thor in the back. I think this is just going to be too much for Iaguz, though. His army is not good enough where he can push on a creep again. He's not ever going to be able to take a fourth, pretty much. Zanster is already taking a fifth base. That is so greedy, and I love it in this position because he's just crushed a push. It's kind of like in a match like TVT, as soon as you beat an army, as soon as you crush a push, you immediately make a command center, and you get further ahead. And that's just exactly what Zanster is doing, but applying it to Zerg versus Terran. And again, going to be able to pick off that refinery. Iaguz is now making the 2-2, but he's forgotten it for so long. Normally, you'd want that to be finishing in 16 minutes at the latest. You can get it at 15:30 with a CC first, but he's just had so much damage done to him all game. He's been pummeled around. And he's supply blocked now as well, so he can't keep making those units. He's in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, he certainly is. I'm trying to find a way for him to get back into it. But even so, you know, his 2-2's been delayed to the point where the Zergs is basically not very far off his at all. He's coming in for another push here.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
It's going to be gross. 27 more Banelings being added on top of what he already has.
11, yeah. And in he comes. He's just going to crush through everything. There's a lot of Widow Mines here. He picks up the Thor to try and save it.
Some money shots with the mines! Oh my god, he got so many Banelings there. He may just have enough to crush the mutas. They're so low. What is going on in this game? The mine shots have actually saved Iaguz from certain defeat just for now. There is going to be another wave of Zerg units coming very, very quickly behind. 50 Lings in production. Just Lings alone is going to be able to beat this army when the 2-2 finishes.
Yeah.
But super impressive. Even if Iaguz doesn't win this game, he's going to feel really confident going into the next one, given that if he does not lose a bunch of stuff early on, I think his mechanics and his micro are pretty much impeccable. But here we go.
He's engaging the Zerg army again, right up in his grill where the Banes are being morphed. Nice control from Zanster, making sure that the Banes are connecting to Marines and not Marauders up the front there, as Iaguz is very much hoping for. Only 3 medevacs left, soon to be only 2. Oh, man.
Yeah, Zanster has an unassailable lead right now. He's got his 5th up. He's not mining gas from it, but he is getting the minerals. But pretty much as soon as Zanster gets these extra Lings out, gets a bit more gas and makes them all into Banes, he's just going to crush through. Iaguz is basically mined out in his main. His nat is, really isn't that far off, but Zanster's actually kept his bases mining a fair amount longer, and he's just got this huge lead. And his creep spread along the right-hand side of the map is really nice as well. I don't think that he should attack off creep like this. I think this could be a mistake, but he does have a lot of units.
Well, here comes another attack. Nice spread from Iaguz, but Baneling's finding a couple of hits here. There's just not enough Terran left over to really finish this off. If he had a big enough army, surely that would have gotten demolished. I mean, he's off creep engaging right now. That's how confident he is and how little Iaguz has left.
Yeah, and Zanster actually lost a lot in that fight. He was really cost inefficient just because it was off creep, and his mutas took a huge hit from the Thors and from the mines, but it just doesn't matter at this stage. He's so far ahead. As soon as Iaguz wants to land this 4th, Zanster can just come in with Banes and kill this. Like, It's just so hard from Iaguz's perspective here to actually turn this game around.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he does manage to get this fourth base because he desperately needs it. His 2-2's finishing. If he can get the 3-3, you know, that might be a way back into this game. But gosh, he has so little. When you look at what the Zerg has, he's just morphing 15, 16 banelings at a time, every time he pumps out a round of lings. That's a hell of a lot. I think it's
a lot.
probably more than he has bio units at this point.
Yeah, there's something like one Baneling for every Marine, so I'll tell you right now, it's pretty gross if those armies ever actually go head-to-head. Iaguz, I don't think he should be pushing out right now. He needs to just be sitting in his fourth and maxing out. He needs to get 3-3 and then push. This is a mistake if he pushes here. There is a huge counterattack, though, coming from behind with the mutas. That's, I don't know how that's going to go, but the links into the third, they're going to be huge. And being able to run into the main as well, they're going to get so many SCVs. And they're even camped on top of the production in the third.
Yeah, this is really hard for Iaguz. He just doesn't have enough terrain to spread between all the bases to deal with this. So he's sending a chunk of Marines through. They're quite heavily stimmed already. Losing a bunch of SCVs in that naturally. He's killed 37 workers this game. I think pretty much just that one attack. Lings.
Oh god, mutas on the reactors. That's the worst feeling of all time.
Yeah, Zanster really turning up the heat here. He's not keen to lose any sort of lead that he has, and he's beating Iaguz back at every turn. Now hurting the economy. He's taken out armies. He's forced him to make a Thor, delayed his upgrades, all kinds of things. So, well, let's see if this push can do anything.
So many Banelings. When he finishes this, he's going to have 50 Banes and all the mutas in the sky.
Yeah, so just a couple. Unless he wastes a whole lot on the Thors. He actually kind of does lose a lot to the Thors, but there's just not enough terrain here. He's going to keep crushing through. All the Banelings are almost used up here. Bunch of Lings left over and the mutas. But there's just not quite enough reinforcements coming out for Iaguz to clean it all up. He's going to continue pressing forward though with his 3-3 because that's about all he can do at this point.
This is absolutely incredible that Iaguz has even made a game out of this.
Yeah.
This is so incredibly hard to come back from behind like this. 3-3 is done, so he does have the upgrade advantage. Hive is only just started by Zanster. So if Iaguz can take one more really nice fight, be super cost efficient here, he may have some semblance of hope. It's going to be tough though. The mutas are going to be rolling in. The Banelings are going to get some nice connects. The mines they're doing friendly fire though on the Marines. Iaguz needs to retreat. He can't keep pressing the attack here. The Banelings are just going to be doing too much damage. A few connects on the Marauders, which isn't ideal, but at this stage, Zanster has even added his 6th base. One thing that is a little bit surprising is he hasn't really been taking the gas from his 5th and from his 6th, so he's really just looking to end the game on Mutiling Bane and not have to go to Hive, but it's 25 minutes. He's just going to start adding Ultras or Infestors or something.
Yeah, I feel like he could have even gone Hive earlier, because usually once you've got a 4th base and you're feeling pretty comfy, you start looking towards that Hive. But Iaguz has been pushing a lot, and that's where his focus is, not dying to these pushes, staying alive, seeing if he can punish him for any of his move-outs or mistakes.
Oh, big Thor hit. Almost a mine hit as well.
No, he has actually lost 34 mutas throughout this game.
He's not been efficient with them. Oh, the Banelings were connecting with the Thors. Iaguz actually getting a really nice trade there, and the Marauders soaking up a fair amount of the hits as well. There are just so many mutas in the sky though, and a absolute load of Lings coming as well.
He gets that base.
Even though he gets that base, Zanster can just send those drones to the 2 other mining ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that might seem really good, but at the same time, it's still going to be incredibly hard for Iaguz to take the next base.
Well, it's a step in the right direction at the very least.
Certainly is.
His medevac's getting very low on energy here, but maybe he can take out this hatchery with a stim here. There's not a lot of Zerg in position to deal with it. Muta's coming in once again. That's actually a pretty decent mutable. It takes out a few drones, targeting down the hatchery now, and he will actually get it.
It's pretty big. Zanster's actually fairly broke now.
What is happening?
What is actually happening in this game? Iaguz is just playing out of his mind. I mean, the control has been fantastic. the unit compositions have been amazing as well. Zanster tries to do a runaround, but that's really not going to work. Iaguz is floating out his main to be able to saturate a new base and keep his unit production up. And for the first time in about 20 minutes, or for the first time since that push happened, Iaguz is ahead in supply.
He certainly is, and that endless bank of units that Zanster had before is kind of nowhere to be seen now. He's got a great meter block, 23 meters out on the field, a fair few Banes and Lings though, but with Iaguz's control, he's been trading very efficiently. Mutas are in the natural of Iaguz at the moment. They're wreaking havoc. They look like they're going to get the CC here. At the same time, Iaguz marching up into the natural, might be able to go into the main, might be able to go towards the third. We'll see what he does. Needs to be a little bit careful about the ground army though, because it is still here at home for Zanster to defend.
If Zanster just goes into Iaguz's fourth and kills all those SCVs, Iaguz would have a really hard time of producing units, but Iaguz being so far up into Zanster's grill right now, Marauders and Mines in the front lines, the Banelings are so cost inefficient. It's 30 minutes and he just doesn't have the Ultras and the tech that he needs to be able to fight this army. The 3-3, the Mutas, what can the Mutas do against 3-3 Marines with all these medivacs?
Oh my goodness.
This is the sickest comeback I've seen in ages.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he's get the Baneling nest. That's really nice. Now he doesn't have to contend with any more of those. It's 8 on the field.
Iaguz wins this game out of nowhere. He has proven me wrong. This has been the sickest comeback I've seen. There is basically nothing now that Zanster can do. The spawning pool goes down. He can't keep even producing more units. This army will go down from Iaguz, but he's got another one back at home. He's got the production. He's got mules. He's got a new base. He's floated out his main. Such a sick game. I am never going to count Iaguz out from a TVZ again.
No.
I am so glad though that he's actually managed to make me look the fool and do this comeback. This is so impressive, and he's showing his class, and he really does deserve this win.
Absolutely. This has got to be painful for Zanster too, because he knew he was in a fantastic position. He knew he had a big lead, and he somehow lost it. It's not like...
He's going to be scratching his head off this game and saying, you know, how did I lose this?
Yeah, this is really rough for Zanster. I guess I have no idea how he did it. Like I swear.
Swarm host coming out. He's trying to do anything. If these swarm hosts were like 10 minutes earlier, they could have helped out a lot. But at this stage, it's just a case of being too little, too late.
Zanster's broke. He kind of doesn't have any mineral income. It's like he's mining with only one drone at the moment, or one or two.
Yeah. And long distance mining from like 2 bases away to a hive. This is going to be it. This is going to be the final attack. He's just going to throw away his Banelings and the Mutas, and GG is going to come out. Well played. Good luck. Iaguz clinches out the series 2-0 and is going to move on.